coming by. Please step to the mic, sir.
Let me ask you about Trenday Waragwa. How many people were arrested in yesterday's operations? And was this a part of this Aurora operation promise that Trump made, or was it separate arrests? How many were arrested yesterday?
Well, President Trump's made a promise to American people that we're going to concentrate on Trenday Waragwa. They're one of our priorities. As far as yesterday, operational security, the operation was leaked. And again, we're going to hold those people accountable once we find out what the leaks occurred. This isn't a game. When the operations get leaked like that, it puts our officers at great risk. It's already a dangerous job. We know TDA is dangerous. Everybody can agree to that. But when they get a heads up we're coming, it's only a matter of time before our officers are ambushed. And their job's dangerous enough. So we're going to address this very seriously. And look, I said from day one, we want to be transparent with the American people. We've invited numerous media outlets along. But right now, it's all about OPSEC, operations.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a powerful topic that's making waves across the nation, especially in Chicago. Border Czar Tom Homan just delivered a major message to sanctuary cities, and it's stirring up some serious conversations about immigration policy, public safety, and accountability. You don't want to miss this, but before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay updated on all the latest news and discussions. Alright, let's break down what Homan had to say, starting with his recent comments on the dangers of leaking operations and how it affects law enforcement. So, Homan started off strong by addressing a critical issue: operation security. He emphasized just how dangerous it is for ICE agents when their operations get leaked. You see, when word gets out that ICE is coming, criminals have time to hide or flee, and that puts officers at risk. This is not just about a few arrests, it's about the safety of our men and women on the front lines. Homan made it clear that these leaks are no small matter. When operations are compromised, officers are at a much higher risk of being ambushed. And let's face it, ICE officers are already putting themselves in harm's way every single day. So the need for operational security is paramount, especially when conducting high-stakes raids. Next, let's talk about Homan's plans for mass deportations, starting with Chicago. He announced that these deportations will begin on January 21, 2025. He didn't hold back criticizing Chicago's mayor and Illinois' governor for their opposition. Homan believes that sanctuary cities like Chicago are not protecting anyone. They're protecting criminals. He's called for accountability, stating that these policies endanger public safety. Recent events like Operation Safeguard saw over 100 arrests in Chicago alone and nearly 2,200 nationwide over 2 days. This has caused a ripple effect, with fear and uncertainty spreading through immigrant communities. Some are even considering self-deportation, and business activity in these areas is visibly down. Chicago's leaders have reaffirmed their stance on non-cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, even as they face mounting pressure. It's clear that the legal and political battle over sanctuary cities is far from over. Homan's broader stance also includes ending birthright citizenship and ensuring that consequences for illegal entry are unmistakably clear. To wrap things up, Homan's message is loud and clear. Sanctuary cities are not protecting anyone, they're protecting criminals. And as he pointed out, it's time to hold these cities accountable for endangering public safety. It's going to be interesting to see how...
Sir, why was Chicago singled out in the lawsuit today against sanctuary cities?
Look, sanctuary cities are a sanctuary for criminals. I'm glad we got Pam Bondi running the DOJ now. Sanctuary cities are sanctuary for criminals, make that clear. No, they want, these sanctuary officials say, well, we want victims and witnesses of immigration crime to be free to come to the police and without fear of us working with ICE. That is such crap, because the victims and witnesses of crime don't want the public safety threat released in their communities. That's just ridiculous. The victims and witnesses of that crime want that bad guy locked up too, and when they're done, then give them to us. That keeps the community safer. If anybody wants an immigrant community, ask them a simple question: would you rather have ICE operating in a jail or the community? They're going to say they want us in a jail, because these immigrant communities, many are here illegally, but they also are family people too. They don't want a predator in their neighborhood released back in the community. So, we're going to hold sanctuary cities accountable. We're going to take them on it, and we'll take them to court. Again, it's everybody, every elected mayor, every elected governor, every elected city councilman. You would think they would want their community saved too, and they would want public safety threats removed from their community. That's your number one responsibility, is protection communities. Work with us. Let us into jail to arrest and talk to the guy that you locked in a jail cell. You obviously locked him in a jail cell because he's a public safety threat. Let us talk to him. When you're done, give him to us. You don't have to hold him a minute. I've seen some sheriffs say, well, we're not going to hold him for ICE. We think it's a legal issue. You don't have to hold him a minute past what you know. Just let us know when you release him. Let us be there. Let law enforcement work with law enforcement.
Do you want
Catholic Relief Services says it's facing drastic internal cuts. It's asking President Trump to please keep the foreign aid going. Talking about Catholic Relief Services. What do you say, sir?
I got no comment on that. That's not. I'm a border guy.
Do you want local police? Do you want local police to make arrests at traffic stops?
I want local police to do what they can to assist arresting and removing public safety threats from the communities.
Are you concerned about capacity? There's reports that some migrants are being released because ICE beds are over capacity. And
I'm not worried about. There are many ways to increase the bed capacity. That's what we're working on today.
Are some detainees being released?
I was made aware of that this morning, and I'll address that today. But I've been told that some were released because of some health concerns that we could not handle within ICE detention. So I have a meeting with ICE leadership today to find out exactly who was released and why. But the president made it clear we're ending catch and release.
6% were released according to the press secretary yesterday. Does that go against the president's promise?
I'm going to find out again. I just got back in town today. I've heard about this morning, so I'll address that today. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Can you remind to increase
capacity? How many and what does that process look like?
Look, we've had a migrant processing center at Gitmo for decades, so we're increasing our footprint there. It makes sense. I just got a question on migrant beds. That's going to be another place where we have up to 30,000 beds. And President Trump made a commitment that the worst of the worst will go to Gitmo, and that's what we're concentrating on.
Mr. Homan, do you feel like ICE is doing enough? Are they meeting their marks for your expectations? Do you think that they're meeting the
Are we making enough arrests? Is that the question?
Do you think ICE is doing enough, that they're meeting their quotas?
No, they're doing a great job. Look, let me make clear, we're doing a great job. We got to do more. And that's what we're looking at now. We're looking at ways to create more efficiencies to do more. That's why OPSEC is important. When we go on these operations, the operation got leaked somehow, it makes us less successful. Again, when you leak an operation, it means more bad guys are not being arrested, which means more bad guys are walking the streets. So as we address that, you're going to see the arrests increase. As the aperture opens up beyond the criminals, you're going to see more arrests. I made it clear: if you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table.
ICE hasn't posted arrest. ICE hasn't posted arrest number in several days. Is that because arrests are down?
No, I think the arrest numbers. I looked at it. I just talked about this morning. I think the arrests are right around over 11,000 so far since day one. On the interior, 11,000. But the most important thing, if you look at the border numbers. I mean, yesterday at 24 hours, there was less than 500 border arrests. It wasn't too long ago. We had 11,000 arrests a day under the Biden administration. We got less than 500. I've done this since 1984. Those numbers are historic. So the president's already had this border secured at a high rate, and we're going to continue till we secure the border 100%. This administration under President Trump will finally have operational control of our southern border.
Are you saying
How
the
long
leak
will
came from the
detainees
press,
be
or do you have any
staying at
theories of where the leak originated from ahead of this operation?
That's being investigated now.
How long will migrants be staying at Guantanamo? How long will they stay there?
We're going to follow the same legal process we follow here, except they'll be bedded down at Gitmo rather than bedded down in the United States. The same legal process, the same requirements to see a judge, the same requirements they can make a claim. So it's just a matter of where they're located. But it's a place that we can build upon, that we can send the worst of the worst to sit in that Gitmo. And it makes perfect sense to me what we're doing.
Sir, visas for foreign-born Catholic priests who work legally in U.S. parishes and Catholic social services. Where does that stand right now?
I do not know how to get back to you on that.
Texas Governor Abbott has offered thousands of prison cells in Texas to house detainees. Do you plan to take them up on that offer? And also the 1,400 acres that they had offered for a detention center.
Look, I met with hundreds of sheriffs. We're looking at, contracts with sheriffs for their beds, which come at a reduced cost. The most expensive beds we have, the one the U.S. government owns. So we're looking at the sheriffs across the country, and Governor Abbott made an offer yesterday. So we'll be looking at that. All cards on the table. We're looking for as many beds as we can get. We just got to hope Congress gives the funding to buy as many beds we need. And I know they're talking about that today. So hopefully we'll get a budget. We can increase the bed capacity.
When do you think the deportation flights in Guatemala and El Salvador start after Rubio's agreement?
10,000 Mexican National Guard at the border. Do you have any idea what their mission is going to look like?
The same as the first Trump administration. They're going to help us secure the border. I mean, President Trump has made it clear Mexico has to help. You know, guarding their northern borders keeps Mexico safe too. But the president been clear that the border is going to be secured. Well, partnership with Mexico is very important, and having their people on the northern border, along with, you know, what Pete Hegseth has sent to the southern border, along the border trace, it means a more secure border. We know the death threats and the violent threats being made by the cartels will help be diminished with the presence of our military, our Border Patrol Mexican military. It only makes sense. It helps secure the border and it helps protect our officers and agents. I got to run.
Thank you.
So, what do you think about Homan's comments? Should sanctuary cities be held accountable for harboring criminals, or should they continue their policies of non-cooperation with federal law enforcement? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want more updates on this issue, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay informed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.